You're driving down Highway 20, the GPS leading you further and further away from civilization, when suddenly, you stumble upon a makeshift memorial, a faded photograph of a young woman, and a single word, remember. But what are you remembering, and who is this woman? You find yourself standing at the edge of a dense forest, the trees towering above you like sentinels, their branches creaking ominously in the wind. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. As you look down, you notice a faint trail of footprints, leading deep into the woods. The trees seem to close in around you, casting long, ominous shadows on the ground. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched, that unblinking eyes are trained on you from the darkness. And then, you hear it, the distant hum of a car engine, the sound of tires screeching, and the faint whisper of a scream. You're about to uncover a mystery that has haunted this town for decades, a mystery that will take you down a twisted path of secrets, lies, and deception. As you follow the trail of footprints, you stumble upon a clearing, and in the center, you find a makeshift grave, a simple wooden cross bearing the inscription Swamp Mountain Doe. The air is heavy with the scent of blooming flowers, but beneath it, you detect the faint stench of decay. You can't help but wonder who this woman was, and how she ended up here, alone and forgotten. The trees seem to loom over you, their branches tangling together like skeletal fingers. And then, you notice something strange, a small, silver necklace, partially buried in the dirt, bearing an inscription that reads "To my dearest, forever and always." But who was the intended recipient of this necklace, and what happened to them? As you delve deeper into the case, you begin to uncover a web of secrets and lies that lead you down a twisted path of investigation. You interview the locals, but they seem reluctant to talk, their eyes darting nervously around the room. You notice a faint smell of smoke in the air, and the sound of whispers seems to follow you everywhere. And then, you stumble upon an old, dusty file, hidden away in a forgotten corner of the local police station. The file is labeled Swamp Mountain Doe, and as you open it, you're met with a flurry of yellowed papers, each one bearing a cryptic message or a grainy photograph. But what do these clues mean, and where will they lead you? As you continue to investigate, you begin to uncover a shocking twist. The Swamp Mountain Doe is not who you expected her to be. The DNA results are in, and they reveal a surprising connection to a local family, one that has been hiding secrets for decades. You find yourself standing in front of a grand, old mansion, its windows boarded up, and its door covered in cobwebs. The air is thick with the scent of decay, and the sound of creaking wooden floorboards seems to echo through the empty halls. But what secrets lie within these walls, and how will they change everything you thought you knew about the case? As the truth begins to unravel, you're left to pick up the pieces of a puzzle that has been decades in the making. The family's secrets are finally exposed, and the truth about the Swamp Mountain Doe is revealed. But as you look back on the case, you can't help but wonder, what if this had been solved decades ago? How many lives would have been saved, and how many families would have been spared the agony of not knowing? You find yourself standing in a crowded courtroom, the sound of murmuring voices and shuffling papers filling the air. The judge's gavel comes down, and the room falls silent. But as you look around, you notice something strange, a figure, sitting in the back of the courtroom, their eyes fixed intently on you. Who are they, and what do they want? As we stand here today, we know that the Swamp Mountain Doe has finally been identified, and her family has closure. But as we look back on the case, we're left with more questions than answers. What really happened to this young woman, and how did she end up in that makeshift grave? The truth may never be fully known, but one thing is certain, justice has been served, and the Swamp Mountain Doe will never be forgotten. You find yourself standing in front of a memorial, the sound of wind chimes filling the air, and the scent of blooming flowers wafting through the breeze. But as you look down, you notice something strange, a small, handwritten note, tucked away in the corner of the memorial. It reads, "The truth is still out there, waiting to be found." But what does it mean, and where will it lead you? As we conclude this episode, we're left with a haunting question. What other secrets are still hiding in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered? Join me next time as we delve into another chilling case, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more true crime content. And if you have a theory about the Swamp Mountain Doe case, be sure to leave it in the comments below. The truth is out there, and together, we can uncover it. But be warned, the truth may be more terrifying than you ever imagined.